Alright, so yeah, I just got back from Rough Night, which is a comedy movie with Scarlett Johansson and some of the SNL cast in it. And yeah, it's a comedy, dark comedy movie. It's sort of a cross between The Hangover and Weekend at Bernie's, which is an odd idea. It was based on a script that has been in development hell since 2015. They apparently decided to make a movie out of it, called Move the Body, yeah, according to Wikipedia. Sony Pictures has a habit of making comedies that are hit or miss, and this one is no exception. But there were some funny scenes in it and some funny gags, although Sony is one of the people complaining about Rotten Tomatoes, most critics are going to tend to agree with Rotten Tomatoes, so maybe there's something wrong with the studios, not with the critics. Gee, there's an idea. An original concept. Yes. Come up with that instead of Weekend at Bernie's meets The Hangover. Yeah, Stone Gremlins just did a review. I did not watch the review yet. I'm just going to do mine. This isn't going to be very long. Basically, there's Johansson's character is getting married in the movie. So she meets up with her friends to go to Miami to party. And plot-wise, everything starts to go wrong. So they have a wild party night, hanging, clubbing and stuff. They invite a stripper over, and then they accidentally kill him. And then they spend the middle act of the movie, of 3 acts, trying to think of ways to either get rid of the body or turn themselves in, which they try for getting rid of the body in several ways, including hanging him from. There's a swing thing, and there's a beach scene where one of them takes a jet ski out, and the body comes back, and of course washes back up on shore. It never turns blue at any point, even though it would have. Never has rigor mortis, which it would have. It's yeah, so it's all right. It's a dark comedy. It's a morbid. It's reminiscent of the action and trauma that goes on in most Judd Apatow comedies. It's not Judd Apatow though. It's similar to Superbad in some ways. It's similar to the Pineapple Express, which was a different one about these stoners who get into trouble and there's gunplay and death and stuff in that. The Weekend at Bernie's, a classic 80s comedy. Only classic because it's old. It's actually really bad. In which the boss gets killed at a party, or boss dies at a party, and they have to pretend like he's not dead. Yeah, so, it is what it is. It's here nor there. The actresses interplay, the comedy, the linorama is written a little better than, say, the Bad Moms or some of the other ones from last year, the year before. Yeah, so it's kind of like if they made The Bachelorette into a movie and threw in a little bit of Sex in the City and this crazy couple that's next door that's demented sexually, and they want to do like kinky acts and stuff. They don't actually do any, but they imply it. It's funny that this movie is rated R, and yet no boobage. It's like, you have a rated R comedy, where's the boobage? There was not one flashing tit in the movie. Maybe briefly side boob, but yeah, it's like you're in a rated R comedy. You can show boobage if you want, right? But yeah, they didn't go there. It was just rated R because they said the F word a lot and implied sex acts were going on. It would be PG-13 if they took out the F word parts. I don't know why the studio's so squeamish. It shouldn't be R. It's not that dirty. They just talk about sex. That's not dirty to talk about. Oh well. Yeah, it's only rated R because they threw in some swear words and coarse language and stuff, which in an 80s sex comedy would be just there. They'd be all like, oh, we're doing pot and coke. And then they'd be like, we're going to have sex. This chick shows her boobs. They would have done that in an 80s sex comedy, and it would have been rated R as well, but it would have been like, let's see some boobs, you know, or see some other stuff. But I guess Scarlett Johansson was probably like, I don't want to really actually do that. Anyway, yeah, well, you're in a sex comedy. Anyway, so with a guy that dies halfway through it, so it's like, well, a third of the way through it, and so yeah, you're not going to be getting off, and that's not what I mean. It's just that they shouldn't show. It's PG-13. Yeah, it's not that bad. I would have said PG-13. Yeah. But no, they showed blood in it. Ooh. No boobage. Just a lot of swearing. And their epiphany is kind of strange. But that's why it gets a roughly 50% on Rotten Tomatoes. So, okay. Yeah, that's about that 50. I'd give it a little higher than that. 55, maybe. Out of a possible 100. It's 2.5 stars. Yeah, sure, why not? It's pretty harmless. It is an adult comedy though, so you know. Anyway, so that's my review. I thought I would just add that some of the trailers before Rough Night were kind of boring, and there was a couple of. There's literally a movie where Idris Elba is trapped on a mountain with a lady. They crash in a plane. And it's literally called The Mountains Between Us, which is like the space between us, but with a mountain. Clearly they're not going to be in love. They're trapped on a mountain, but it's different. But it's like, wow. The title, they sort of... Were they thinking Space Between Us was going to be so awesome that they had to borrow the title and just sort of change it a little bit? It looks like a cross between that Everest movie, the one where the plane crashes in the mountains. But yeah, no. Also, there was Baby Driver, which they keep advertising over and over again. The guy with the driver that has a drum in his ear, and somehow he can drive because he's got tinnitus. But no, that wouldn't really work. But they mentioned all these rave reviews this movie's allegedly getting, including Rolling Stone. Like, has this even come out yet? How could it be getting rave reviews anywhere? Except maybe out overseas or something, or back east. And it doesn't look that interesting. So, anyway, so now we have The Dark Tower, Stephen King movie. Idris Elba again. Playing the gunslinger. Yeah, so I thought the gunslinger was the first one. Oh, anyway, so... and that's about like a supernatural Western world that's behind and the kid's had imagination or something, and it's like he comes into the real world somehow and fights demons or something. Kind of odd. Anyway, so there. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the previews. There was something else. Something about some kind of a heist movie. It was a fake casino movie with Will Ferrell and Amy Poehler. Looks like more of the same. So yeah, yeah, that's the previews.